And this is the area of ancient Judah where, of course, the Moabitess, Ruth, came with her mother-in-law and harvested and gleaned the wheat. We're celebrating the Shavuot, the holiday of the 7 weeks. And in Christianity, you call it Pentecost. So what we have here is a settlement behind us called Tekoa, after, of course, Amos, the famous prophet who came from this region. And I just want to talk to you for a moment about the significance of the firstborn. This is the feast of the first fruits. And that's what we're celebrating now, the grain harvest. The grain harvest, traditionally we read the book of Ruth because, of course, she came and gleaned in these fields. We're standing in a field outside of Tekoa, outside of Bethlehem, in the region that she would have met Boaz. And remember what Boaz says to her. He says, "May the God whose wings you have come for shelter, may he be your refuge, and may he be your reward." That's from, of course, chapter 2 of the book of Ruth. When we think of Shavuot, this is the end of the Omer. We have stopped counting the sheaves, 49 days of cutting the grain, and now the great harvest of what we call the first fruits. This is so much a picture of the Lord who was the first fruit of all of the resurrection. And here we have this bookends of the harvest. The first fruits are celebrated now, and of course later on we will celebrate the final harvest, which is in the 7th month. The beginning of the next holiday will be, of course, the Feast of Trumpets that happens in the 7th month. So I love coming here and just looking at the environment. It's so the same that we would have seen in the time of David, we would have seen it in the time of Ruth and beyond. We are seeing the Judean hills, and today we have several 100,000 Jews who have returned to this area and are living here and making this their home. Ruth was a Gentile, and she followed her mother-in-law, Naomi, back to, of course, Bethlehem. She is a picture of the Gentile church aligning itself and loving the remnant of the Jewish people. And she became, of course, the great-grandmother of King David himself and is in the lineage of the Messiah because, of course, the Messiah had to come out of the house of David. We think of this honored position that this stranger, this poor widow woman who came from Moab, from this strange culture and this strange people, who aligned herself. What does it mean to be a gleaner? You know, the Lord was very, very clear in the Torah to not cut the corners of your field. That's why, of course, the Jews have the peyot on the corners of their beards. That's why you have the tassels on the corner of the prayer shawls. Those are even called the wings. When we think of this beautiful picture of not just having a chosen people, but always making provision for those who were in the corners of the world, in the corners of society, the corners of the Jewish people, we have such a picture of the love of God for all mankind. So Shavuot is, of course, the giving of Torah, and in the book of Acts, we hear about the giving of the Holy Spirit, given to the 120 who were in one accord in that upper room. And remember, Peter stands up on the steps of the temple and says, "This is that which the prophet foretold," Joel 2, that in the end of the age, in the end times, he will pour out his Spirit on all. And this is what we are here to celebrate at this time. God is pouring out his Spirit. God is bringing in his Jewish people. And God is, of course, the Lord of the harvest. And he says, pray for the workers to go in. The harvest